truth is that movies like Inside Out and Frozen, the biggest hits in cinema history, would never exist if Toy Story hadn't been a massive success. But do you know all the dark and terrible things that almost happened for Woody and Buzz's first movie to become a reality?
You're my favorite deputy.
You got a friend in me.
Woody as a villain. And as incredible as it seems, this was going to happen because the movie's villain was going to be none other than Woody himself, who is none other than one of the coolest and kindest characters in the entire history of animation. Granted, in the first movie, he and Buzz didn't get along at all, and the cowboy even knocked the Space Ranger out the window, but he did it by accident. But in the original story, not only was Woody jealous of Buzz, but he also planned and executed a macabre scheme to get rid of the space action figure once and for all, if you catch my drift. And that was the story Pixar created, animated, and turned into 15 minutes of film, presenting it to Disney, who financed the animation to get it approved. The problem is that after screening these 15 minutes of a children's movie, the directors at the House of Mouse walked out terrified and hated everything Toy Story was trying to convey. Mostly because they considered the main character, Woody, way too envious and violent, to the point of intentionally trying to take another toy's life. The result? Disney immediately canceled the movie and intended to break their contract with Pixar, which would literally bankrupt the computer animation company that would one day create Inside Out, The Incredibles, Cars and Monsters, Inc. However, there was one last hope, and it was this ray of light that ended up saving not only Toy Story, but also Pixar and the dozens of animated movies created by the company that shaped the childhoods of 9 out of 10 kids around the world. Now we are going to reveal everything about this and how Pixar and Toy Story bounced back. Oh, and just a spoiler, the original Toy Story movie only got so bad and was almost shelved by Disney because of Disney's own fault. Stick with us because we are going to blow your mind the origin of Pixar. While most of us think Pixar has always been this animation giant we know today, the actual path of the greatest animated film creator in history was completely different. Before Toy Story, they were actually fighting to avoid bankruptcy. If you haven't been living under a rock, you definitely know who Steve Jobs is, right? That tech genius who created the most famous Apple in the world. Back in 1986, Steve bought a small computer graphics division from Lucasfilm, the company that made Star Wars, for about $5 million. And it was exactly this division that would later become our beloved Pixar Animation Studios. But at the time, Pixar wasn't the least bit interested in making Hollywood movies. Believe it or not, they were trying to sell computers. They sold the famous Pixar Image computer, which was a high-end graphic workstation focused on hardware, not on telling children's stories. However, there was one employee who had a completely different vision for all of this. His name was John Lasseter, a former Disney animator who had literally been fired for trying to push too hard for the use of computer animation inside Mickey Mouse's studio. Lasseter didn't care about selling boring machines, so he started using Pixar's technology to create little short films like the iconic Luxo Jr. and the revolutionary Tin Toy, just to show off what their tech was capable of. And the animation was so well done for the standards of the time that Tin Toy simply won the Academy Award for Best Animated Short Film that year. It was the first time in history that a computer-animated film won an Oscar, The Dark Deal. And that is exactly when the giant Disney opened its eyes and took notes on what was happening. The House of Mouse approached Pixar with an offer that sounded tempting, a 3-picture deal to create the world's first fully computer-animated feature film. The budget? $26 million. The catch is that in this deal, Disney would own absolutely all the characters, control all the sequel rights, and Pixar would receive a pitiful 12.5% of the box office ticket sales. Pixar accepted it because they were just months away from bankruptcy. In fact, if the movie they created flopped, the company would cease to exist. Period. They piggybacked on the Tin Toy story and created the original concept for Toy Story, which was incredibly simple. They thought, what if toys came to life when humans weren't around? The story would follow Woody, a classic cowboy doll, and his strong bond with Andy, the kid who owned him. It sounds like a super cute and straightforward story with themes of friendship and loyalty that everyone can connect with, right? The problem is that Disney didn't like Pixar's innocent vision one bit. The chairman of Walt Disney Studios at the time, Jeffrey Katzenberg, kept sending notes demanding the movie to be darker and geared towards an older audience. Literally, Disney was turning Pixar's first and one of its best movies into something completely horrifying. As the months went by, the heart of the story was ripped out without an ounce of pity. Woody, who was meant to be a kind and loyal leader, was turning into a petty, vindictive, and unbearable character. Every day, the changes demanded by Disney kept rolling in, and Pixar kept delivering the absolute worst of themselves out of pure desperation, just so they wouldn't go bankrupt. If you're enjoying the video, subscribe to the channel now so you don't miss any new videos. Black Friday. It was then, in the fall of 1993, that Pixar showed the results to the top brass at Disney, and the meeting became known as the Black Friday Incident. That's because what the Disney executives watched that day was something that deeply horrified them. Woody was no longer a charismatic hero, but a dictator. This canceled version of the cowboy was cruel. He humiliated the other toys, and our beloved Slinky Dog was a terrified servant, obeying Woody out of fear. And when Buzz Lightyear arrived and started threatening his position as Andy's favorite toy, Woody became a true monster. He didn't accidentally push Buzz with a desk lamp like what happens in the official movie. In this version, he throws Buzz out of Andy's bedroom window on purpose. After tossing Buzz out into the cold, Woody turns his back, sits on the edge of Andy's bed, relaxes, and gives a sadistic smile. When the other toys realize what the cowboy did and go to confront Woody, he doesn't show an ounce of remorse. He simply yells at everybody, insults the other figures, and drops the most infamous line of all, "It's a toy-eat-toy world!" The other toys are so disgusted and horrified by Woody's sociopathic attitude that they end up banding together in a rebellion. They team up, beat Woody up, and throw him out the window too, in a cruel act of pure vengeance, giving him a taste of his own medicine. And down there, he runs into Buzz again, where the fight between the two continues. Upon seeing these scenes, Disney canceled the movie right then and there. Executives wanted not only to cancel the project, but to fire everyone responsible. The three-picture deal turned into cosmic dust, and Pixar's entire future was hanging by a cotton thread ready to snap. The salvation. Pixar, that company that is worth billions of dollars today, was mere hours away from total extinction. John Lasseter was panicking. He made a desperate plea, almost on his knees, to the Disney big shots and begged for 2 weeks to fix everything. And by some miracle, Disney accepted it, but with a crystal clear condition. If Pixar didn't deliver an excellent story in exactly 14 days, the project would be dead and buried, and the company would sink along with it. John Lasseter, Andrew Stanton, and Pete Docter, the creator of Inside Out, locked themselves in a room and worked insanely, day and night, without sleeping. So, instead of a dictator, Woody became a loyal leader, but one who suffered from a massive insecurity of being replaced and forgotten by the person he loved the most, Andy. They changed the window scene. Buzz now fell because of a terrible accident caused by Woody's childish jealousy, and not because of an attempted murder. They added scenes showing exactly why the toys loved Andy so much, showing the kid's sincere perspective. They made Buzz faithfully believe he was a real space ranger, adding comedy to a movie that was once gloomy. And at the end of the story, the two become best friends. 2 weeks later, the team went back to Disney with the new storyboards. And this time, Disney said yes, and production could get back on track. But the big victory here wasn't just the money. Toy Story completely and irreversibly transformed the animation industry. In just a few years, the whole world abandoned hand-drawn 2D animation to try and ride the wave of computer-generated 3D, kicking off a new era for world cinema. And all of this was almost thrown in the trash because of that disastrous screening on Black Friday in 1993. Happy ending. The takeaway lesson from everything you've seen in this video is never lose sight of the heart of your story, trying to please suits who don't understand the soul of what you are creating. The Black Friday incident taught the studio to always trust their own instincts. If there's one thing that puts a smile on any Pixar fan's face, it's the anticipation of hearing that classic song, "You've Got a Friend in Me," and seeing Woody and Buzz flying with that rocket strapped to their backs. And as incredible as it seems, all of this that we love today came very, very close to never existing and becoming a living nightmare that you can't even begin to imagine. If you watch the first movie, you probably noticed that Woody starts off a little jealous, but he soon realizes the true value of friendship and becomes that loyal leader we all know. He, for example, saves Wheezy, but ends up getting kidnapped in the second movie in the process. Besides that, he truly does everything he can so that no one is left behind during that dreaded moving day in Toy Story 3. Nothing like a cruel leader who tortures other toys, which is the case with Lotso and Stinky Pete, two of the main villains in the history of animation who would never have been created if that day, over 30 years ago, Pixar had actually gone bankrupt and Disney had shelved Toy Story forever. And for that, we are very grateful and happy. Pixar can say for sure today to you and me, you've got a friend in me. We'll stop here, but you can still keep watching more incredible videos. Just click on either of these two appearing for you. Until next time.